So this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and like that. So this is a loop. The second question that can be asked is that what is the start point of, now tell me, how do we find it out? What is the starting point of the loop?
We can find where is the intersection happening, and
Okay.
like we'll be having the address. So from there we can get the data.
So suppose I found that intersection is happening at this point, say 5. Suppose this is where they're meeting.
Okay.
So how do you find the start of the loop from here? I'm saying that, the loop start. So the linked list, this is the head. This is the
Okay.
head. Okay. And from this point, this is the point where the loop is starting. 2, 3, 4,
Okay.
5, 6, 2. So this is the
Okay.
starting
Okay.
point of the loop. So you have to tell me, find start point.
So start point is 2, right?
Yeah. So how do we find that 2 is the start point? This is my question.
Okay.
So, I have another question. Can we have multiple loops in a linked list?
If it is a single linked list means every node will have only one node. So if that is the case, how can we have the multiple loops, right? A single linked list, one node have only one outgoing node, right? It is only pointing to the next node. So one node will only point to one single node. The only way the multiple loop will happen is that when a node can point to two different nodes, right? But if a node is only pointing to one node, in that case, I don't think we can have the multiple loops.
Ishwar, to find the starting point of loop, 2 is the starting point, right? And 2 is pointed twice here. Like 6 will point also, and 1 will also point that.
But how will you store this previous node information? Because there's no way that you can go back in a linked list.
Okay.
Are you getting my problem? In the linked list, once we have moved to the next node, we cannot go back. I cannot peek back into my previous node information. Astosh, you said that you have solved this question. Have you solved this one also? So right now, this is the point where both have met. So I have a faster pointer, I have a slower pointer. Okay, what do I do now?
We would reset the faster pointer to point at the head.
Faster pointer at the head, and I have removed it from here. Okay.
Move with the same speed.
I got your point, but how do you say with the confidence that both will meet at the starting point of the loop? How are you saying it? What is the logic? How are your hypothesis for this? I understand that they will meet, but how are you saying that the meeting point will be the starting of the loop? Meeting point. How can you say this? I'll try to prove this concept. Suppose, say, 5 is a point where the meet, like point of meeting. Okay, this is the point of meeting. And what I do is that suppose 1 till 3. Suppose this is the distance x, and suppose 3 to 5 is the distance y, and 5 to c is the distance z. Make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Now let's talk about a very simple mathematical concept of the speed, time, distance. You should be already knowing it. Yes. So if suppose in the same time t, if one is traveling at the speed v and two is traveling at the speed 2v, if this will cover a distance d, this will cover a distance 2v. Am I right?
Yes, yes.
So suppose distance covered by first one, d1. Okay. So d1, since 5 is the meeting point, so I can say the distance traveled by the slower pointer is x plus y. Can I say this?
Yes.
Okay. And in the same time, t2, what has happened is that the faster pointer would have covered this distance, then it would have covered this distance, it would have also covered this whole, and then again it has come up here where they would have met, right? So distance covered by the two, I can write x plus y plus z plus y, right? Can I say this? The distance traveled by the faster
How
point.
many times it has gone through the loop, the faster pointer?
Okay. Since one speed is the twice of the second, and the first one is moving linearly, right? Because in the first one is moving linearly, it means that the second time itself, because 2 and the 1 are multiple of each other. So so the first time itself, when it was going back, it could have met. That is mathematically, because 1 and 2 are multiple of each other. So the second time when it will go, it definitely meets to each other, because when you divide 1 by 2, there is a multiple of each, and that is the reason why you put the second pointer twice the speed of the first one. You could have also made it like 3 times 5, like first you move twice and second you move at the 3. In that time, you never know that when they will meet. But since 1 is a multiple of 2, so the next time when the second is taking the second loop, the first will be the pointing there. So it will go in the second time itself.
Okay.
Okay. So what I can do is I can write it like, make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Now d2 will be 2 times d of 1 because speed of d2 because speed of 2 is more than the speed of 1, so d2 will be 2 times d1. Can I say this?
Yes.
So I can say that d2 is x plus 2y plus z, and d1 is x plus y, so it is 2x plus 2y, right? 2y will get subtracted, x I took to the right side, so z becomes equals to x. What it means that from the point where the intersection happens and to this distance, like if you find this distance, this is z, and this distance, this is x, both are same. Start one pointer from here and you start one pointer from here, and wherever they intersect is the point of the starting of the loop. So that is why what we do is that wherever the logic that we need to use is that wherever they intersect, so point, this is the point of their intersection. So I start one pointer here, I start one pointer here, and I start both the pointer with the same speed. Since the distance of both these points from the start of the loop is same, so the point where they will intersect is the point of the starting of my loop. Make sense? Everybody? Right, perfect. So you need to write the code for this again as an assignment. The third kind of question that can happen in this loop is that what is the distance of the start of the loop from the head? So basically you have to tell what is x. So now this becomes very simple, right? This distance you can easily figure it out, right? So these are the only 3 combination of question that anybody can ask you in around the finding the loop in a linked list, okay? And if you know this question becomes very simple, right? So I want everybody of you to please try this, write the code for that in the language of your choice, but please do try it. It's a 5-star question. It is one of the the low hanging fruit, and the chances of this question coming in the interview is very high. So please do try this. Out of 5 interviews, 1 interview will definitely ask you this question.